Hello, my friend Art Explorer. Today we're going to do something a little bit different than what I have been doing this channel. Not so much because I think I have already shared a short on this process for me. But anyways, today I'm going to use this sheet that I have used for a brush test, and I don't want to lose this, to let this go to waste. And I'm going to do that thing I call doodle therapy. It's that thing where I just draw and let my mind or my hand decide what it wants to do and just let myself be surprised with whatever happens to show on this paper. I usually do this with just one pen. I have this brush and I have decided to use this because those were the two pens I had available right now with me that are water resistant. So if by any chance I decide to use more watercolor, I can. And I usually don't do this. I usually just start with the ink and then eventually I paint. And I usually color this kind of doodle only when I do this on the iPad, but I decided to try something different today. So let's see how this goes. One thing I find interesting about this kind of exercise is that I never know what's going to happen. And when I do this like in a sequence, more than one of these in a day or on different days, but days that follow each other like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. I like to see which patterns emerge, what repeats and what not. So this is an interesting exercise. I know there are things like Zentangle that have a similar like goal for you to clean your head and sort of meditate and etc. But from what I have seen about Zentangle, you have patterns to follow. So it's a bit more structured. This is not. This is like my mind and my body communicating with each other without thinking so much about what is happening. Only when I finish that I go back and try to reflect on what this drawing is trying to say to me. You know what I mean? And sometimes I don't even do the reflection part. I just let it be, but it clears my head in a way. There are other things that way after I started doing this kind of exercises, I found out. One thing is called neurographics. I don't know as much about it also, but it's closer than Zentangle. And one thing that I liked of the neurographic exercise I found on YouTube once was that you just drew the lines and then you filled in so you don't have any edges like this on your drawing. But I don't always do this way. I like to explore freely. I think there are a lot of things in life that we already have to focus and try to be precise and stuff like that. So I like to have this space for myself. And also, this is not my goal, but this kind of exercise helps us with line control and training our hand. It's a side effect that it's not the most important for me, but I know it helps me somehow. You can grab a paper and do this with me if you want to. Just paper and pen or your iPad and Procreate. It works too. I like to turn the page around. It's It's so relaxing. I had a full day today, and now it's just like someone entered in my brain and I'm getting a massage. So relaxing. So, in the middle of this, I ran out of battery. That's why we had a jump in this exercise. Anyways, I was talking about a book that I have already mentioned in this channel. The book is Your Brain on Art. And in this book, the authors share something that I found that it's very interesting and that might relate with the effect I feel when I draw like this. They, in a part of this book, talked about some patients that suffered some kind of trauma but couldn't elaborate this trauma using words, using conventional therapy. Because when they put these patients on sort of MRI machine, I don't know, I don't remember the name of the machine. MRI might be wrong, but doesn't matter. They put the patients in this machine to measure how the brain was functioning when trying to talk about the trauma, and they discovered that for some people, the language area in the brain, it just went offline, like the person suffered an AVC or something like that. But it was only when they were trying to talk about this trauma. So these patients started using art, non-verbal art. I don't remember also the specific type of art they used to work on this trauma related stuff because they wouldn't be able to do this with words. So that shows us how art is so important in our lives. Not just because it's pretty or because it can give us pleasure, but because it is health. Like this stuff help us. So if you have something in your life, even though it's not as hard, like those people that can't even talk about the trauma, not as traumatic, I don't know, maybe just try to draw without thinking about stuff and see if this helps you some way. Or even if you just had a tough day and want to relax, nothing serious, that's okay too. This is how this helps me the most. When I have my head full of stuff and I can't even decide what to do with my life, what to do first, what to think, how to solve my problems, I just grab the nearest thing I have and start doing these doodles. That's why I call doodle therapy. I don't think we value our intuition as much as we should. So this might also help. I don't think I'm going to use the other pen. I'm comfortable with this one. I don't always feel the whole page, but most of the time I do. I just look at the drawing somehow and decide, okay, this is enough. Sometimes I just keep going, and sometimes I need a little bit more. I like the effect the watercolor strokes I had on the background gave, even though I didn't exactly use them for anything specific. I just am drawing like I would if there weren't anything on this paper. I'm just testing things out in this channel, so if you like watching this kind of processes or you like to have a video like this on your background while you join me on doodle therapy or something like that, let me know in the comments because I can do more of this content if this helps you somehow. I pause, I look at this, and then I think if I want to add something. I think I'm going to fill some areas. Okay, so today I decided to do something completely different than what I usually do. I found this old Crayola box that I have never used because I bought this for something specific from my work 10 years ago, I think, but I never got to use it for what I was planning to. And the only one that I ended up using was the white brush, which works so well as a masking fluid, sort of, anyways, but I didn't use the other colors. So I'm just going to pick some random ones and see how we go in this exercise today, like this. It's funny because I always end up choosing these colors when I'm on the iPad. Go figure. Can you believe that I have had never painted with this brand of crayon before? Because this isn't, or at least when I was a child, this wasn't as common in Brazil, where I am from and where I grew up. We had other brands. I used crayons a lot when I was a child. I loved it, but not Crayola. Random stuff, I think, and decide to share while I do this thing. I don't even know if YouTube is going to let me post this video with the original size because since this is a new channel, I have time limitations for what I post. I didn't even think about this before. So I might end up having to accelerate some parts of these videos or do a jump cut or something like that. I'll figure it out when it's time to prepare this to post. I think these colors make the result happier and lighter because the dark thick lines can be a bit strong, even though they give me a sense of trying to organize the chaos. They are strong and chaotic. So I think these random colors are make things lighter. And I need that after the day I just had. Oh, I like this. Okay, I don't think I need to color it all. Just a little bit more here and here. I'm missing purple choice. So let's see if we can find something. Maybe this one. I love purple. Oh, this isn't purple. It's a rich blue. I like this blue also. Okay, I'm glad I didn't stop. This is relaxing me. Not blue also. It's interesting. The same color, basically. Blue, cerulean, and another blue. Purple, anyone? This. Okay, now this is what I was looking for, although I enjoyed and was very pleasantly surprised by the blue choices that I pulled out of the box while looking for this. Purple is a color of mystery, spirituality, and some cultures also relate this to prosperity somehow, while blue sometimes is seen as the color of the intellect or trust or even calm and relaxation, but in a different way than green. I know I said I was going to stop, but I can't. I just keep going, which is funny sometimes in this process. But I'm just enjoying this. Okay, that's it. This isn't supposed to be pretty, it's just supposed to relax me somehow. But most of the times, I like the results. I think this is cute. The colors, the crayons, and the watercolor behind this. I think it turned out interesting. What did you think? What did you produce right there? Let me know if you felt inspired to try this exercise and what happened with you while trying to do this. I would be very happy to know. See you next time.